Hello there and welcome to UBC News Tonight. We're coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakoni and I am Rukidi Edward Kijjanangoma. Now, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, has met the new U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency William Pope, who called on her at her office here in Kampala. Nabanja welcomed the ambassador on his tour of duty and congratulated him for being deployed to the Pearl of Africa as the U.S. Ambassador. We have more in this story.
Nabanja says that Uganda and the US are strategic partners and have enjoyed cordial diplomatic relations since 1962 when we won our independence from Britain. She says that over the years, the US and Uganda have worked together to promote stability in the East and Central Africa. Nabanja lauded the US government for its contribution to Uganda's interventions for reducing the HIV and AIDS burden, fighting the recent Ebola outbreak, and our national refugee response.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
To my office. Welcome to Uganda.
Thank you.
And welcome you to the Pearl of Africa.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's a pleasure.
Uganda is a beautiful country, as you have seen. Because when you come and you're new, you may think we have not been doing anything as compared to your country. But in 1986, when NRM took over power, the life expectancy of Ugandans was 48 years. We have since grown to 64, which is a commendable stride we have made.
Absolutely.
Nabanja appealed to Mr. William Pope to support Uganda's endeavor in socio-economic transformation, especially reducing poverty levels from 39% through the parish development model and other interventions.
I appreciate the USA for the contribution towards our health sector.
Yes. Yes.
HIV,
absolutely.
AIDS prevention,
Absolutely.
Recently COVID-19,
Yes.
Ebola,
Right.
and many others. So I want to thank you on behalf of government.
Thank you.
The U.S. Ambassador, His Excellency William Pope, assured Nabanja that his government will continue cooperating and supporting Uganda.
It has been a partnership that's been one that's saved lives, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives. And we certainly want to continue to support access to those services. That's an important area for us too, is that everyone, regardless of their background, regardless of their identity, regardless of their status,
deserves to live.
Can have that access.
Mr. William Pope has been appointed the new U.S. Ambassador to Uganda following Natalie E. Brown's recent exit.
Now, Cabinet has approved a 6-member board of directors of Uganda National Roads Authority in a paper presented to it by the Minister for Works and Transport on Monday. Now, while addressing the press at the Media Center here in Kampala, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, said these members are to supervise the management of UNRA and also represent different interests of Ugandans.
Cabinet meeting that sat Monday considered a paper presented by the Minister for Works and Transport and approved a new board of directors for Uganda National Roads Authority to supervise management.
Which we approved as Cabinet, comprises of Engineer Dr. Augustine Obiero Mugisa, who will be serving as the chairperson, and he will be assisted by 5 other members to make the total 6. And these are the Honorable Engineer Lilian Nakate Seguja.
The Minister for Water and Environment also presented to Cabinet information paper on the status of gravity flow of water schemes, emphasizing the advantages of access to clean water sources like increase in productive hours. Dr. Baryomunsi says Cabinet directed the Minister to ensure that every village in Uganda has a clean water source.
Because you all appreciate the importance of access to clean water in terms of preventing diseases and boosting our health. So therefore a directive was given the ministry that they should budget and plan to ensure that there is equitable distribution.
On the other issues, apart from the cabinet decisions, on the return of the Omusinga of Rwenzururu back to his subjects, Baryomonsi says it is good and people need to celebrate because issues of the law that caused his arrest have been resolved.
Mbere, as you know, had issues with the law. We all recall what happened in Kasese, but he was pardoned and all the issues have been sorted and allowed to get back to his kingdom. His people are free to receive him and jubilate and celebrate with him, and the government has no big issue with that.
Cabinet also some time back resolved to extend the term of office of LC1s to first empower the people through investing in different government programs. Now the 6 months period has not elapsed for government to consider the next decision.
Should we hold elections now? We're aware we are about to go into general elections, or should we? We chose to postpone elections in that we're weighing, we are implementing the NRI manifesto. We did pledge to put resources in development funds, like the parish development model.
I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisia in Kampala.
Let's have a look now at what transpired in court earlier today in regard to the case of the late Chigundo.
This case is before Judge Richard Wabirewejure at the International War Crimes Division Court. When the case resumed for confirmation of charges, this was impossible since lawyer for Yusuf Nyanzi Anthony Asimwe was not in court. Lawyer Geoffrey Tuliamsima was holding brief for him.
Unfortunately, he had another matter in Family Division High Court before Justice Katie Rima. He requested me to pray before court that the state discloses to him. He also prayed for 1 month to have filed also his submissions. They disclosed to him, at the same time they served him with their submissions.
Judge Richard Wabirewejure set 27th October 2023 to resume with the case. Prosecution in this matter is represented by Lilian Omala, and the other remaining accused persons are represented by lawyer Friday Kagoro Robert and Geoffrey Tuliamsima. Major Muhammad Chiguna and driver Sergeant Stephen Mukasa were murdered on 27 November 2016 in Kulambire, Kampala suburb. Meanwhile, the hearing of the case at the General Court Martial, where Major Godwin Joel Atwembe is accused of murdering his wife Marion Kamuhewa, flopped. The witness, Dr. Gilbert Akamplira, attached to Sembabule Health Center 4, who did a postmortem to the deceased Marion Kamuhewa, failed to appear in court. Chairman Brigadier General Freeman Robert Mugabe adjourned the case to 31st October 2023 for further hearing. So far, 5 witnesses have testified in this matter. Major Godwin Joel Atwembe is accused of murdering his wife Marion Kamuhewa and dumped her body in a military cantonment. Gordon Joel Atwembe was remanded to military detention. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Let's go to Kasese now, where it's good news there because the government has confirmed the return of Rwenzururu King Charles Wesley Mumbere to his kingdom in Kasese district after 7 years in detention following the 2016 turmoil in which over 100 people were smoked to death under his command at Buhikira Palace in Kasese town. Omusinga Charles Wesley Mumbere was released with several royal guards he committed murder offences with after closed-door political negotiations with the government. Omusinga Mumbere will be airlifted from Kololo Independence Ceremonial Grounds on Wednesday. That is tomorrow morning to Kasese town. However, the organizers of Omusinga Mumbere's home return from safe custody have appealed to his subjects to maintain peace as they prepare to receive him on Wednesday.
The preparations of receiving the Rwenzururu king are in high gear. In all parts of Kasese district, the subjects of Omusinga Mumbere have rehearsing traditional dances and folk songs that will be exhibited during the home welcoming ceremony of Omusinga Mumbere on Wednesday this week. These culture dances are a symbol of love and unity in the Bakonzo culture. Speaking in an interview, the State Minister for ICT Godfrey Kabyanga appealed to the jovial subjects of the reigning Omusinga Mumbere to stay calm, maintain peace and unity while receiving Omusinga Mumbere.
The homecoming of 4th is still on, and people should be calm. The king is now free to move, so he can come anytime. Let people be calm, let them continue preparations of receiving him back home, and let there no be stampede, because people shouldn't be overexcited and all that.
Mumbere will set off from Kampala at Kolola Independence Ceremonial Ground at 9 a.m. aboard the UPDF Air Force chopper at Kasese Airfield, where he will be received by Omusinga Rwenzururu officials, government, and security officers, among other invited guests, to the terminal before he leaves to Kasese Golf Course, where the reception of his homecoming will be held. However, Minister Kabyanga informed the subjects of Omusinga Mumbere to focus on development and avoid being diverted by political opportunists as it was in the past, leading to the incarceration of Omusinga for 7 years.
Some of those people who are circulating propaganda that he is not coming are just the haters of development and peace. Yeah, so those haters are always there in this Kasese here. But this time I would like to appeal to the Rwenzururu that
there is no question that he is coming. Anyone who is trying to bring some confusion is doing it for his own purposes. If anything happens between now and October 4, we will also tell you and say because of A, B, C, D, the Omusinga is not able to come. But
despite the flaring jovial moods of Bakonzo people to see the Omusinga again, the presidential advisor for the Rwenzururu region, Christine Mohindo, requested the people in the Rwenzururu region to take advantage of the government program to fight poverty in the region.
That when these programs are in place, let's use them properly so that we can get rid of poverty. It is poverty which brings insecurity. And when everyone has something in the pocket, they will have no time to go on wasting time to go and fight their friends to steal, but to make sure that everything is in place.
According to the committee chairperson for the homecoming of Omusinga Rwenzururu, Dr. Mumbere Walembang, Omusinga Mumbere will make his maiden speech of hope to his subjects at Kasese Golf Course.
Fortunately, for those who wanted to meet him and greet him, and he greets them on the road. Unfortunately, he is not coming by road. The Omusinga will come by air. When he arrives, of course, you know how people will welcome him. We will go to the golf course.
And of course, preparations are in high gear to welcome the Rwenzururu King Charles Wesley Mumbere. And of course, UBC TV will be there to give you all the updates as things unfold. Now, Uganda's Water and Environment Ministry has hosted delegates of the Eastern and Southern Africa Water and Sanitation Regulators Association, ESAWAS, here in Kampala to ensure effective utilization of water. Now, during the three-day conference, discussions to ensure that utility regulators in Africa provide better water and sanitation services to their citizens will be core, as we hear in this story.
As the world population keeps growing, the investment in water is expected to improve to suit the population at hand. By 2010, Uganda had a water demand of 408 million cubic meters per year and is expected to hit the 3,963 million cubic meters by 2050.
Now, based on the assumption that no additional investments in the water sector will take place other than those already planned for in the current investment plans. The expected cost in 2050 is anticipated to be in the order of 5.5 billion American dollars. These values undermine the need for a further per capita investment in the water supply infrastructure across the continent, and in specific terms of up to $75 by 2030 from just about $32 currently in Uganda.
Climate change, water as a resource is limited. Therefore, we need to promote efficiency in its utilization, and we need to ensure that we have appropriate technologies to meet those expectations.
There is a call for the regulators of water and sanitation to carry out surveys on water challenges.
So the initiative that we are going to be debating and agreeing on afterwards is to ensure that the utility regulators and the utilities in Africa provide better services when it comes to water and sanitation on the continent, but also watch over the catchment and the environment where we are abstracting this water from.
Water and sanitation regulators from across Africa are called upon to carry out inclusive sanitation solutions.
But the main objective is always, when you are trying to do the regulation, to see how you can improve the service quality and to see how the supply can keep going without any disruption for the users and the consumers.
The three-day meeting is on the theme Initiatives for Regulatory Impact. Mariona Wori and Annette Sana, UBC.
To Mbarara City now, where it is just about indiscipline of students, where over 205 senior 6 students of Ontario School in Mbarara City have been indefinitely suspended for allegedly vandalizing school property. Now, the vandalized property involved recently installed CCTV cameras, window glasses, water installation system, and part of the school fence.
The school headmaster Rampororo Sol said the suspended students were protesting the expulsion of their colleagues who were found in possession of mobile phones.
We were in defense of boys that we expelled because of possessing phones in the school, and they were like senior 6s and unattachable. So we said this is wrong, and we called in police to cool the situation.
Rampoloro added that their action exhibited a high degree of indiscipline and had indefinitely suspended them to avoid occurrences of causing more harm to the school.
They damaged more property, the water system, the glasses, and part of the fence, cameras. So we said this one is too much, and we cannot leave them in school with that kind of anger. We tried to send them home to quench that kind of unsettled minds.
He said the school's Board of Governors will sit mid this week to decide the way forward following the indefinite suspension.
So the board will define the number of days, what they may need to pay to replace the damaged property, and how to handle them as they do their exams.
The suspension comes at a time when the senior 6 candidates are remaining with only 1 month to sit for their Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education examinations in November.
Water, please. Can I pay with Momo? No. Ha. Hey, can I pay with Momo? Ha.
Here's our merchant.
Oh, very good.
7 mega?
20. Can I pay with Momo?
Unfortunately, no.
Ha. Baby, let's go.
When paying with MTN Momo comes with more benefits for everyone, it just doesn't make sense not to have it.
Hello, I've come for rent.
Can I pay with Momo?
Yes, you can.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
In this family, we can't agree on anything.
Martha.
We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndowoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Uncle, you should see London.
Oh, my boy. This has been 5 years. You should see Uganda.
Yes. Uncle Marcus, this is my former school.
See, soon there will be more than 1 million children learning like this for free.
This is impressive. Do you even have connection out here?
Well, we have 100% 4G countrywide.
Okay.
We even have 5G too.
That's approximately 700 billion Uganda shillings in tax, making Airtel one of the largest corporate income taxpayers over the last 5 years, helping build a better Uganda.
Today your son saw our new Uganda.
Thank you, Uganda, for imagining it with us and making us the fastest growing telecom in the country over the past 5 years.
I wish you maintain that same effort to protect you and your family from that very dangerous shift that attacks you every night. And if you don't take action soon, it may cost your life or even your pregnant wife to lose her baby.
Wapi, with all these original padlocks and my maguja, no thief can make an attempt to break in.
Simon, you and your wife are always in and out of the hospital almost every month. And it's that dangerous thief that you are not yet safe from. You're lucky that for now, it's only robbing you money.
Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net every night. For pregnant women, go for antenatal care and get your Fancida medicine to protect you and your unborn baby from malaria.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Mama Sarah.
Wanji?
We did all we could. Naye we couldn't save her. I'm sorry. You brought her in very late. Malaria destroyed her organs and reduced her blood levels. She was anemic. You know how dangerous malaria is. I am sorry, but malaria has killed your daughter.
Malaria kills more people in Uganda than any other disease. Protect your loved ones from this enemy. Ensure everyone in your family sleeps under a mosquito net every night, whether it's a cold or hot season, to protect them from malaria. In the event that any of your family members shows malaria signs and symptoms, take them to the nearest health center immediately to prevent complications from malaria that could result into death. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Global Fund.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. A warm welcome to those of you just joining us. Elizabeth Nakakoni is on sign language, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijjanangoma. Moving on now, we go to Kasanda, where in Kasanda Nalutuntu sub-county, a reconciliation meeting has addressed the damage caused by miscommunication among workers of landlord Nteza Joseph, who apologized for an intentional property destruction on a 1 square mile piece of land. He reassured the tenants of forthcoming compensation following an audit of the situation. Let's have more in this story.
Farmers in Nalutuntu sub-county, Kasanda district, were distressed when their crops were unlawfully destroyed on Nteza Chigozi Joseph's land. Deputy RDC Hajati Nzinza Mpalanyi convened a meeting in Kasanda to address land issues, attended by Semeo Nsubuga, the Human Rights Commissioner, the area MP, and the district police commander.
Naye ate kino kyatujjeeko enviiri ku mutwe n'ennaku okulaba nga kino kyabaddewo. Kituufu enteesaganya zibaddewo. Era abantu abateesa naye ne batuuka ku nzikiriziganya. Madam RDC oli aware nti abamu baafuna sikeekiza z'ebyapa.
Twakkaanyizza nti mukulu Nteza agenda kubeera wano. Era n'oyo maneja we ali mu kkomera. N'abo abantu betwakoze eki betwakutte abasirikale.
During the meeting, it emerged that workers hadn't followed the RDC's and landlords' guidelines to clear the land.
Omugagga ye yali akulembedde eyasembayo emabega ambongako nange ne mubongako. Sembayo nga mpitako ng'ayogera ebigambo bino kati nno tukujiridde era kaweddemu akako.
Deputy RDC Hajati Nziza Mpalanyi commended community peace and pledged compensation for victims of the destroyed gardens.
They have invested a lot of money that was given to them from the Parish Development Model Program, which has been wasted. So we want our people to go and sit and mediate out of destruction. Out of destruction, we are ready, our office is open, and we have been doing it. We shall continue to do it in that people sit on the land peacefully.
Landlord Chigozi Joseph regretted workers' non-compliance, apologized to affected communities, promised compensation, promoted cooperation, and committed to legal land title facilitation.
Tusigalenga bwe tubadde tutambula ffenna kubanga emabegaawo ettaka lyange lyali lingiriddemu ebyobufuzi. Ngalo bannabyabufuzi abamu abagifudde platform nga baagala okuzanyira entalo zaabwe, abakadde abavaako n'abapya. Naye twatuka ku ntegeeragana n'abantu era kibadde nti kya mukisa mulungi tutambudde n'abantu era sigobangako muntu yenna ettaka lyange mbadde mbasasula, mbadde mbawa ebyapa nga tukkiriziganyiza bulungi nnyo era ekyo abaliko banjulira nti.
Kasanda District Landlords' public apology introduces a positive trend in resolving community land disputes. Sudat Kaye and Fred Kasivante, UBC News.
To Fort Portal City now, where over the years mothers have been trekking over 5 kilometers to Bukuku Health Center for maternal health services in Kabarole district, which they say caused delays and of course those led to maternal deaths. However, in what is now perceived as final response to their long-awaited prayers, the government has extended health services to the affected people by constructing Nyakitokori Health Center to ease the burden.
Karangura lies in the mountainous areas of Kabarole, making it one of the hard-to-reach sub-counties in the district. According to Richard Rabuhinga, Kabarole district chairperson, residents here have been relying on the neighboring Bukuku sub-county for health services due to lack of a standard health facility in the area.
This reduces the distance by over 20 kilometers. And I therefore believe that the women here have no reason whatsoever to fail to come for antenatal services. We should not hear now of a mother dying of pregnancy-related issues. We should not hear of a mother dying while giving birth. The facility is here. Let us appear here for antenatal services. Let us appear here to deliver at the hands of a professional health worker so that we are able to reduce on the maternal and infant mortality in the district and in the country at large.
Residents say sick patients and pregnant mothers have been carried on wooden stretchers to a distance of 5 kilometers to access health services. This often accounted for delays in seeking health care.
The pregnant mothers are carried on sticks from the mountains. We have been taking them to Bukuku Health Center 3.
With the construction of Nyakitokori Health 3, residents are optimistic that their health needs have been addressed by government.
We thank the government, at least from today and for the rest of our lives. Our mothers are saved. I think the death rates will reduce during the time of delivery.
However, area leaders want government to equip the health center with drugs, professional human resource and ambulance to serve the population better.
A small pickup to help us pick those pregnant mothers from the distant areas to this place.
This is one of the cures to the many kids who die before 5 years, the mothers who die during delivery. So we are really happy as a district.
According to Dr. Kaliejira, the district health officer, Kabarole, so far 14 health workers have been deployed at the facility, asking residents to make good use of the facility.
We note that without a facility, this raises the number of TBA or community-based deliveries. But with the skilled birth attendants now, the midwives with us here, we should be able to see these indicators improve.
To matters pertaining to health now, where the Minister of State for Primary Healthcare, Margaret Mhanga, has expressed concern over the increasing road accidents caused by border riders and called upon the government to put stringent measures to curb on border use in the country. Mohanga made the remarks during the official opening of the week-long free surgical health camp at Mulago National Referral Hospital. It should be noted that more than 80% of the patients who seek surgical services at Mulago National Referral Hospital are due to border accidents. The acting executive director of Mulago National Referral Hospital, Dr. Rosemary Byanyima, cited some of the challenges the hospital faces, like human resource and lack of funding. Professor Edward Kayesije, the board chair of Mulago Hospital, urged the public to always engage into preventable measures than seeking late medical attention.
I think some of them are high on something, that 75% of the disease burden of the Ministry of Health are preventable diseases. Accidents are preventable. Even malaria, which kills the highest number of people, we can reduce that number. 16 per day is too high. By simply living in healthy environments, a clean environment, eat the correct diet, which I've seen here being demonstrated.
Our funds for maintenance of equipment has been cut by 1 billion, from 6.5 to 5.5. We've already been grappling. We are expanding services and using more sophisticated equipment which need maintenance and servicing. I do not know how we shall continue to run. And that also involves funds for specialized medicines. I know that implants and other specialized items which we use are expensive, but we are appealing for the government of Uganda to increase the funding. I know the budget has increased. In 2021, I think the budget was about 8 billion. It has been increased to 18 billion now, but we know some of the money is ring-fenced for lab services, and that's why we have improved the lab services and also offering these services free of charge across, and also offering dialysis. And the clients are increasing because we offer very good dialysis services, but the funds are really in short supply.
But I will take a picture with them only.
We'll take yet another short break and return with much more. Do stay with us.
Maze okuwaayo kumbaga yamwenemu
ntewera ndi kulinda ondagirire momope
migasita ndala mukaga 5 sita 3 hash yes
maze bambuziza enter merchant code
tamu 7
emirundi esatu maze abankobye enter amount
nditamu olukumibwa okopi
buti bambuziza pay using mobile money
yeah mobile money
MTN Central Point
tamu 1 mobile money
buti abankobye enter pin
buti awo tamu pin yo kai pin bagisoma onogena
nanti tigendereire bwena
pin tibagisoma
bampereza ka message
ze namba ile nnamu olukumirwanga kampe yo kumbaga ya mwene
ayi kubula ko ebitambo dede basala
mama mbwe bya mama pe bya kusaswa
alikwenda kuiba wama byabwerere.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
The doctor says you are getting better. I have a list of suspects in my file here, but I need you to help me identify the thief who attacked you.
This cat thief again. Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net. Clear bushes and all stagnant water around you. If you notice any symptoms, go to a health center near you to test and treat, and ensure to complete your full dose to avoid severe malaria, which could lead to death.
Hello, Mom. How did you sleep? How is Salongo? Oh, Mommy, how is Grandma? And Simba, the dog, yeah, the funny one.
Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel Bona Voice Bundles. Dial *100*1#. Select Call Bona to choose bundles from as low as 1,000 shillings from daily, weekly, monthly, or bundles that don't expire. Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel. A reason to imagine.
Enjoy the true Ugandan coffee experience as we commemorate the rich legacy of Uganda's Arabica coffee this International Coffee Day. The Coffee Day celebration will be held on the 5th of October 2023 at Agri Evolve Limited in Nyabirongo Parish, Kisinga Town Council in Kasese District, under the theme Celebrating Arabica Coffee from the Foothills of Mount Rwenzori. This event is organized by Uganda Coffee Development Authority and Uganda Coffee Federation with support from Agri Evolve, USAID, Feed the Future, the European Union, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Rainforest Alliance, Kenya Ports Authority, and EcoBank.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The Woman Trade Fair for this year brings you the Black Friday earlier than ever before. Get ready to buy what you need at a 50% discount. Home appliances like fridges, cookers, TVs and so much more. Boda bodas, tukutukus, soap, detergent, cooking oil, sugar, rice and so much more. Don't miss to get what you've been longing for at a discounted price of up to 50% at the Woman Trade Fair Black Friday from 3rd to 10th October. Proudly sponsored by Total Energy, Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, Stanbic Bank, Uganda Breweries Limited, Tembo Seals, Uganda Bati, Simba Automotives, and Node Group.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Let's have a look now at what's happening in the world of business. MV Umoja, a cargo vessel plying the Mwanza Port Bell route, is now back and after undergoing a rehabilitation. Another ship which has successfully completed its maiden voyage is an enhancement to water transport on Lake Victoria, more so to the Central Corridor route. According to Uganda Railways Corporation, their biggest challenge was inconsistency in providing what the clients needed and the capacity to serve them.
Cargo transport on the Central Corridor has received a major boost following the return of the MV Umoja roll-on, roll-off ship on the route. Before it docked in Mwanza in 2019 for rehabilitation works, MV Umoja was operating alongside MV Kawa.
You know, we have clients here, we have one ship here, MV Kawa, it has all been sufficient. So this is an enhancement of our operations and we really welcome it.
The business community, Marine Services Company Limited of Tanzania and Uganda Railways Corporation have been awaiting for the vessel's return. MV Umoja and MV Kawa carry a maximum of 1,200 metric tons of cargo per trip and can transport 22 wagons.
MV Umoja is back. We are back in business. We are here to offer convenience. We are here to offer competitiveness, and we are here to offer capacity of maritime transport as far as this route is concerned.
We have a lot of cargo that would be moving, but we didn't have the means to move it. So when MV Umoja comes, we feel excited because we'll be able to answer the questions of the clients.
According to the ship's technical staff, Umoja is in perfect sailing shape.
Voyage was very nice, very smooth, and all equipments and machineries installed as new had been operating smoothly, efficiently, and they performed.
I'm very proud of this because we've been booked even before the completion of the project. So now, as I talk, there are people inside there talking with the commercial manager. How do they start loading the ship?
Umoja's rehabilitation works that took about 20 months to complete cost the Tanzanian government a whopping $8.4 million. The investment signifies the Tanzanian government's commitment to facilitate regional trade.
So our introduction of this vessel is a case, is a business case to show that we are here for business. We are here to show competitiveness, and we are here to stay.
MV Umoja comes empty, but returns to Tanzania fully loaded with New Forest electric poles. According to Uganda Railways Corporation, New Forest has an order of about 25,000 metric tons of electric poles destined for Mwanza.
The return of MV Umoja onto the Central Corridor route comes with immense business opportunities between Tanzania and Uganda. The ship will be supporting the MV Kawa that is just docking right behind me. Dennis Igoa for UBC News in Kampala.
Thanks, Dennis, for that story there. Now, MasterCard and Equity Bank Uganda have signed a memorandum of understanding which is aimed at improving financial inclusion for the digitally excluded individuals, communities and businesses in Uganda. Through the partnership, Equity Bank Uganda will undertake a partnership with Innovation Village to facilitate the implementation of the financial inclusion agenda through the Digital Economy Program.
Uganda has improved in digital financial inclusion, although there are still significant challenges in ensuring inclusiveness in transforming to a digital society across most sectors of the economy.
95% of the economy today, especially in Uganda, it's all cash, right? So this is all informal. So as you move to digital, basically a lot of those informal transactions, everything that is happening today in cash, that is not visible in the formal economy, right? So what we are doing with Community Pass, the partnership with the tech, the X-Tax, and bringing the banks all together, basically, connecting the dots, is that we want to bring all those transactions visible, right, by turning them into digital.
The Memorandum of Understanding between MasterCard Incorporated, Equity Bank and Innovation Village therefore seeks to foster growth and promote financial inclusion to digitally excluded communities in Uganda.
We live in an ecosystem where entrepreneurs are building solutions using technology, but we've all heard and know that it's extremely hard for them to attract capital. So today, with MasterCard and Equity Bank, the partnership is to make sure that they can collaborate, as we also bring entrepreneurs on the same table to make sure their solutions can go reach farmers, be supported in the education sector and so many other sectors.
Our role will be to provide, one, the card. The card will be issued by Equity Bank. So we'll use our infrastructure, including banks and others, to provide that Community Pass card, that then the different customers, or be it farmers, will be able to use that card to transact.
Leveraging on formal financial services will also enable customers and small businesses participate in the growth and development of the digital economy.
We want to show that a farmer, today, whenever they are selling their produce, they are getting paid in cash. So no one knows how much that farmer is doing, right? But once you make that digital, so we start tracking, oh, this farmer is producing that amount of produce, and this is how much they are getting paid, right? So that farmer is now becoming more visible, right? And as they become more visible, so they can have access to loans and insurance, and so that is one example on how things.
Okay. A financially included population is key in not only reducing income inequality and poverty, but also supporting monetary policy transmission mechanisms and financial stability. Charlotte Amoge and Juma Samba for UBC News.
Uganda's leading telecommunication company, MTN Uganda, has started a historic initiative dubbed Advancing Women Entrepreneurs. Now, this initiative aims at inviting women entrepreneurs to join their supply chain.
Uganda is destined for a historic and groundbreaking initiative, which is the Advancing Women Entrepreneurs project that is spearheaded by telecommunication giants MTN Uganda.
So as we come together on these significant occasions, I don't stand in front of you just as the CEO of MTN Uganda, but I also stand as someone who proudly represents a company that is deeply committed to driving diversity, inclusivity, and the empowerment of women.
This project aligns with MTN's commitment to gender equality, youth empowerment, and inclusivity in the technology sector.
When you look at the strategic development goals of that we are all partners to, there is one goal called SDG 5, and that's about gender equality and the empowerment of women.
It will require women entrepreneurs specializing in information technology, network services, digital solutions, facility management, and commercial products and services to vie to the part of a cause in which MTN will invest 15 billion as it targets 50 women by the end of this year and 250 by 2025 on its supplier chain. Launched at the MTN headquarters in Kampala.
So today the Advancing Women Entrepreneur Program that we launched today transcends being a mere initiative. It stands as a solemn pledge by all of us who are here to dismantle barriers and equip women with the tools that they need to thrive in the business world.
This project stamps MTN as a leader on gender equality, unwavering support for women in business, empowerment of the youth, and ensuring that opportunities are accessible to all, including people with disabilities.
As MTN, we can create the opportunity. So there's work that needs to be done, even in terms of how we source, how we procure. There must be policy changes that are made in terms of how do we deliberately ensure that we are inviting a lot more women to come and procure, how do we make our procurement decisions.
It augurs well with MTN's 25 years anniversary, and the annual theme of Together We Are Unstoppable also aspires to usher in a new era of improved business ownership, enrich diversity with enhanced equality in the supply chain that seeks to champion women participation in the technology industry.
Let's have a look now at how the Ugandan shilling fared today against the following selected local and international currencies in our money market report. Welcome back. It's time now for us to have a look at sports news, and we begin with Ludo, where athletes that outshone others in September have been rewarded by 48 real stars at an awards ceremony hosted in Kololo.
After wonderful displays that enabled Uganda to defend its Africa Ludo Championship crown last week, Emmanuel Mubiru, who was voted Tournament Most Valuable Player, has bettered all his colleagues to the Ludo crown at the Fortbet Rio Stars Awards.
To have this one for the month of September, we are appreciating them for the work that they did. It was so a great month. This time we came with 5 disciplines. We had Kabaddi for the first time coming on podium for Rio Stars. They had never come, but then the lady took it like the maiden for Kabaddi. It's good that the lady was just taking it.
The award's Chief Executive Officer, Isaac Mukasa, is proud of these athletes that toil for their clubs, but importantly the nation, and promises to grow these awards to substantially benefit sports personalities.
Developing as the state needs train, and we thank the management of different federations for the work they are doing in. We have also to thank the government for the sponsorship they are putting in these ones, though the Ludo guys, I think they were never sponsored by the government, but at least we know maybe sometime later they will be funded for the money. This is because they use their personal money. But again, we have to thank all people who are putting in effort. You see that our national teams were strong, we are competing well. Locally, the league has just started for the football, they're doing well. We have the Masasa tournament going on.
In Kabaddi sport, Chadondo SS student Olivia Naluwega was decorated, while badminton player Husna Kobugabe for her gold and silver medals in Benin and Cameroon edged others.
I would like to thank everyone able to make this happen. I'm very grateful to the people who fought, the media. Thank you for everything.
We thank the media for having tried to put our game into the limelight, because first they thought it was a game of the low cadres down there, but with time they are going to see that there are even some more intelligent people and others who can join in the game.
Rugby Africa Sevens bronze medalist Isaac Masanganzira, who also played a pivotal part for Pirates Rugby Club in the National Sevens, bettered his mates. Kenneth Chimera, whose candle is lighting like never before at Wakiso Giants in the Uganda Premier League and Gomba in the Masazaga Uganda, was the best football player last month. The Fortbet Rio Star Awards that are achieved in partnership with others like Jude Color Solutions will at the end of this year hold a mega bash to celebrate 5 years. Sudat Kaye and Vincent Wamundu, UBC News.
Football now, and after Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania being named joint hosts of the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, Parliament has paid tribute to the government of the named countries for a successful joint bid to host its 36th edition. The motion on the successful East Africa Pamoja bid was moved by Oyam District Woman Member of Parliament Alum Santa Sandra Ogwang and seconded by the entire House. Speaking on the matter after the motion, legislators think the country has enough time to prepare both the teams and also things to do with infrastructure and the country generally. Take a watch.
Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania were officially confirmed as the hosts of the 2027 CAF Africa Cup of Nations on the 27th of September this year, which left majority of football fans in jubilation. Now Parliament has moved a motion to congratulate collectively the governments of Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania for a successful Pamoja bid to host the 2027 AFCON.
The first time East Africa is hosting these games, is winning a bid. 1996, Kenya won the bid to host Africa Cup of Nations. 6 months to the tournament, it was taken away and given to South Africa. So we must be very ready for this tournament if we are to host it.
The move of the motion, who is the woman representative of Oyam District Alum Santa Sandra Ogwang, says that the hosting of AFCON will give Uganda an opportunity for business, tourism and also talent development.
Right Honorable Speaker, we have got a chance and we are really very happy for this opportunity, and it comes with a lot of significance to us. First of all, we are now and we have joined the light countries that have hosted AFCON.
Former Sports State Minister now representing workers in Parliament Charles Bakabulinde called upon Ugandans to stop the negative comments about Uganda hosting AFCON.
That we want to call upon our society to stop their negative comments. Instead of encouraging the team and all other stakeholders, they will look for negative sentiments on how the government cannot afford. You have heard the statement from the Minister of Education when we hosted the World Cross Country Champion. Thank you.
Other legislators called for a speedy construction of infrastructure.
We need timely execution of all the infrastructure enhancements. This will only be possible if roles are given on merit.
Now, after winning this bid, government is obliged to construct new stadium, and those stadiums are going to put a very big block on the development of sports in the country.
This will be the 36th edition of the competition and will be the very first time it's hosted by 3 countries. Because adequate stadiums adhering to international standards and equipped with proper facilities are imperative as per the requirements, government admits there is a challenge in adequate sports infrastructure and funding against other competing priorities. Shaidat Nasakun, Shamim Neiga, UBC News.
And the first edition of the SMKA Fan Fit Soccer Gala has climaxed in Busega. The gala that attracted 8 teams was played in Busega, with Seruzi FC beating Fan Fit B 3-0 to walk home with the overall crown. In the semi-finals, Seruzi edged Mapike FC A, while Fan Fit ejected Mapike B. To the proprietor of the gala sponsors, Umar Kalunji, this partnership with Fan Fit Arena is to promote talent and community engagement, and he promises to make it better as the editions grow. On top of the rewards for the teams, there was recognition to excellent individuals like Fan Fit B's Waswa Joseph as best goalkeeper. Mapike A's Dennis Obi was top scorer, while the most valuable player accolade went to Seruzi FC player Muko Lubega. The tournament was for 8 teams, including Fan Fit A, Shell Club and Mbubi, with only Legends Club registering a no-show. There were 12 games played, 18 goals scored, with 12 yellow and 2 red cards dished out. And that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Elizabeth Nakakuni, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijjanangoma, wishing you a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
And shine in Blascone Paint and win the Twake edition. Buy Blascone Paint worth 100,000 shillings. Get a scratch card and SMS the code to 7197. Not only will you win instant airtime, but you could take home 1 million shillings daily, a share of 4 million shillings each week, or a brand new motorbike with fuel worth 100,000 shillings. Terms and conditions apply. Blascone, color your world.
Hello, Mom. How did you sleep? How is Salongo? Oh, Mommy, how is Grandma? And Simba, the dog, yeah, the funny one.
Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel Bona voice bundles. Dial *100*1#. Select Call Bona to choose bundles from as low as 1,000 shillings from daily, weekly, monthly, or bundles that don't expire. Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel. A reason to imagine.
A new dawn on Behind the Headlines with me, Timothy Nyangweso. Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala. We have conversations that have analysis, explanation, but not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me for this new edition of Business Africa. This week we focus on technological initiatives to improve the lives of Africans. But first, let's get on with the show with our top stories today. African startups are getting into the farming spirit. We head for Yaoundé to discover the promise of the startup Agritech.
Quand tu places l'application,
when you place the app over the plant, it tells you what disease the tomato has.
La maladie que la tomate a. Ça te propose également.
It also gives you the solution, the product you can use to treat the disease.
Soigner la maladie.
Goodbye to fuel generators. Solar panels are making a triumphant arrival in Gabon's villages.
Le groupe électrogène nous revenait cher.
The generator was expensive because in terms of diesel, to run the structure, you need milliliters.
Beaucoup de litres.
Water from dispensers, even for those with the lowest incomes. That's the challenge this entrepreneur from Rwanda has decided to take on. The river is the cause of the death of many people who come to collect this dirty water. This water also causes us many health problems. If we had cleaner water, we wouldn't come here. A smartphone in every African field, that's the hope of Agritech, a Cameroonian startup based in Yaoundé. Its digital solutions based on automatic learning algorithms range from finding funding to insurance and market access, not forgetting technical agricultural advice. Our correspondent in Cameroon, Abubakar Sidik Munchili, followed the work of this startup. Take a look. A smartphone in the middle of a field, like the one held by this Cameroonian farmer in his tomato field, is more than just a trend, and it's definitely not a gadget without any connection to its production. He uses an app on his smartphone to scan the plants, and the recorded video is automatically analyzed, and all useful information that he needs is being provided.
Quand tu places l'application,
when you place the app over the plant, it tells you what disease the tomato has.
La maladie que la tomate a. Ça te propose également.
It also gives you the solution, the product you can use to treat the disease.
Soigner la maladie.
Many African farmers are experimenting with the digital revolution that has taken hold of the agricultural sector. The result is a host of innovations to boost agriculture across the continent.
I've never had such success in all the years I've been working. Thanks to Agritech these days, I feel that I'm on the right track.
It's an invaluable tool for Jean Rameau Sukuju and his vast 3-hectare field in the center region of Cameroon. Tomatoes are in great demand and are selling at good prices on the market these days. He's confident, he says, of making a good yield.
The first ones are already mature. Where we are now, it's the 7th week after transplanting. On the other side, some are perhaps a week old, others 2 weeks old. We evolve as we go along. I've been a market gardener for almost 10 years. In the last few years, I've come to know Agritech.
Agritech app enables farmers to detect plant diseases. The app works offline and is in Cameroon's national language. Farmers who use it do not need an internet connection. They can use it in their mother tongue. In addition to this application, we have been able to develop other apps. For example, we have an app that enables our field agents to study agricultural risks right from the start of the project. Agritech is an original idea from these young Cameroonians, an agricultural technology startup led by this young telecoms engineer, a pure product of the African diaspora who, after studying in Germany, thought he would be more useful to his continent and his native Cameroon than anywhere else.
L'idée d'Agritech m'est venue en 2018.
The idea for Agritech came to me in 2018 when I was finishing my studies in business administration in Germany.
Et il s'agissait de pouvoir apporter
And the idea was to be able to provide farmers with the opportunity to run profitable agricultural projects that would enable them to support themselves. I had already had a little farming experience in 2015, but it hadn't gone well, and I realized that these farmers are exposed to many difficulties.
The Agritech platform, which operates with a wide range of young people who work daily in this office at the heart of Yaoundé, is trying to solve many farming-related problems. Others are on the ground in the regions of Cameroon, where this young company is active, while waiting to perhaps head towards other countries on the continent.
Nous avons constaté que les agriculteurs
We've noticed that African farmers, particularly Cameroonian farmers, have three main problems when it comes to making a fulfilling activity.
Le premier problème, c'est l'accès.
The first problem is access to finance.
L'accès à
The second problem is access to the new agricultural technologies that can help them to increase their yield.
permettre d'augmenter leur rendement. Et le troisième problème, c'est
And the third problem is access to the market.
c'est que nous fournissons à ces
So we are providing these farmers with a means of accessing new agricultural technologies and financial services.
aux nouvelles technologies de l'agriculture et aux services financiers.
When a farmer has an agricultural project, the agent uses the application to go out in the field and note down all the information about the project, such as the previous crop yields, the location, the measurements of the land, the soil tests, NPK, pH, and so on.
Il fait les tests de sol, le NPK, le pH et autres. Dès qu'il met ça dans l'application, les agents...
If the project is viable, our platform automatically generates a business plan.
Ils reçoivent les informations directement sur la plateforme. Et là, si le projet est viable, notre plateforme génère...
And a certificate enabling the farmer to obtain microcredit from our financial partners.
D'obtenir un microcrédit chez nos partenaires financiers.
Once the microcredit has been given to the farmer, we start monitoring his project. That is, every week, the farmer gets a call about his project. Agritech promises to provide a call-out service and follow-up in the field through harvesting and even sale on the market via the supply of quality seeds and recommended inputs. The young company claims to have more than 3,000 farmers already on its database, including Jean Rameau Sukuju, who specializes in growing tomatoes and other products that are just as popular in the Cameroonian market and beyond. An ever-growing number, and enough to make this young Cameroonian and his team say that they were right to invest in this promising niche for innovative digital solutions in agriculture on the African continent. There's still the thorny problem of financial support from investors to resolve, and above all, for farmers in rural areas, access to smartphones, which are still very expensive in Africa. The call from African leaders at the annual United Nations General Assembly in New York was clear, ending the old African vision. But behind the official speeches, there were also money talks. Among the initiatives to follow, Rwandan President Paul Kagame has stepped up his meetings with captains of industry, and Kenyan President William Ruto agreed with Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky on possibly establishing a cereal center in Mombasa for deliveries to the continent's most impoverished nations. Meanwhile, the impact of the war in Ukraine and inflation on imported goods continue to undermine the continent's economies. In Ghana, growth is at half-mast, and a harmful circuit of unpaid bills has developed in the construction and energy sectors. The country has received $3 billion in emergency aid from the IMF, but is still struggling to get back on track and pay off its international debt. And while many countries are experiencing frequent power cuts, the solar energy revolution continues to spread across Africa. In recent years, the continent has been turning to renewable energies. More and more solar panels are bringing electricity to rural communities, transforming the lives of millions of households. Such is the case in Gabon, reported by our local correspondent, Jean-Louis Dabani.
In this dugout canoe lies the future. Solar kits imported from Asia are changing the lives of rural communities. Jeremy and his team travel to villages to install solar panels. Today they are on their way to visit a new client. Built on the banks of the river Ogooué, this hotel complex was previously powered by diesel. Today, powered by solar panels on the hotel roof, these lithium accumulators linked to these boxes will allow a 52-inch plasma television, freezers, and even a 2-horsepower air conditioner. All day long, the solar panels store energy to produce light at night, light for progress, light for the future, light simply for cooking day and night.
We have a reservation of at least 40 people from the World Bank. They have gone on a trip to Ogooué and everything will be ready when they arrive. But thanks to solar, we can prepare before they arrive thanks to the light to put on music, power the projector, and solar fans. Thanks to solar. And frankly, it helps us at all levels. Right now I'm cooking a wild boar with sauce for the tourists who have gone for a walk. When they come back, everything will be ready. If we didn't have solar power, we would have to work in the shade, we would still have to use the generator and to spend money. Very expensive. Solar energy saves us money, especially on fuel for the generator, etc.
The idea to innovate came from this man. Few people like him are trying to conquer the solar market in the middle of the countryside. The costs and distances are too high. However, this did not discourage the accountant from turning to these small panels, which now change everything and save him from spending money on diesel.
The generator was expensive because in terms of diesel, to run the structure, you need many liters.
Beaucoup de litres. Et nous avons pensé qu'avec l'énergie solaire, même si...
And we thought that with solar energy, even if the investment is heavy at the beginning, today, by using solar energy,
en utilisant les énergies solaires, nous avons moins de...
We have less expenses in terms of consumption and the cost of diesel.
Et du règlement du kérosène.
The installation of solar panels in rural areas has become the focus of the startup Eco Gabon, intending to promote ecological and responsible electricity production. In addition to being a decarbonated energy transmitted directly by the sun, it is a real alternative to traditional infrastructures.
We are a company that does not categorize customers. We aim to help all customers to make their homes self-sufficient with renewable energy, not only solar energy. Eco Gabon does not only produce solar energy, but everything that is renewable energy by using all the natural resources that we have in our country, Gabon, produce efficient energy that can meet the needs of our customers.
The idea of bypassing traditional electricity grids is not new in Africa. In Gabon, gas-fired power plants are no longer sufficient to meet the growing electricity demand. About 40% of the country's electricity comes from hydroelectric and gas-fired plants. Insufficient, according to experts. This energy crisis is leading many households to turn to renewable energy for lighting.
Avant que nous n'arrivions, le client avait un groupe électrogène.
Before we arrived, the client had an 80 kVA generator which was subject to many fuel purchases and maintenance expenses.
Oui, 80 kVA. Mais justement,
était soumis à beaucoup de dépenses pour l'achat du carburant et de la maintenance.
As you can see, we're on a site that is quite remote, so moving a technician each time for the generator's maintenance was more expensive.
Revenait plus cher.
This is why he opted for renewable energy solutions, such as solar energy, to enable the site to be lit day and night by solar panels.
Gabon, a coastal country in Central Africa, benefits from 2,080 hours of sunshine per year. That is just over 68 hours of daylight per month, a real asset for the solar market.
Gabon is an ideal location for solar energy in many ways, especially its geographical location because, as you know, Gabon is located on the equatorial line and in the tropics, which makes it bathe in sunlight. It's naturally sunny and on a very large scale. It would be advantageous for Gabon to equip itself with large solar installations.
Universal access to modern energy is one of the sustainable development goals for the least developed countries. In Gabon, energy sources are mainly hydroelectric and geothermal. Their high costs are reflected in the monthly bills of consumers. Some Gabonese believe solar panels will eventually reduce electricity costs by almost half.
Welcome to the second part of our show. In Mali, the consequences of applying the new mining code are beginning to be felt. A new law promulgated this summer increases the state's stake in mining projects from 20% to 30%. This is threatening the investments of two of the country's lithium mining competitors. Australia's Leo Lithium has suspended its listing, while London-based Codal Minerals says it is exempt from the new regulations. Clarifications from the Malian government are awaited. And it's time for Kenya's first Islamic bond, or sukuk. The market authorities have authorized the issuer, Linzo Finco Trust, to raise $20 million. The aim is to finance the construction of more than 3,000 housing units to support the government's affordable housing agenda. For regulatory reasons, East Africa has been slow to open the way to this ethical financial product, but analysts expect considerable interest from investors. Urban congestion in Nairobi, Kenya's capital, may soon be eased and greenhouse gas emissions reduced. President William Ruto has signed an agreement worth almost $60 million with the U.S. development agency Millennium Challenge Corporation. The deal will finance the purchase of electric buses to operate on Line 2 of the Bus Rapid Transit, the BRT. Drinking water is a precious resource that we all need, but millions of people in Africa still struggle to gain access to it, many of them being children. In Rwanda, one woman has put her entrepreneurial spirit to good use in this quest. She has succeeded in changing the lives of more than 73,000 people who now have access to subscription-based drinking water dispensers. This revolutionary solution considerably reduces the need to buy bottled mineral water. This is a report by Temistokle Hazikimana.
In Rwanda, less than 50% of the population has access to drinking water, according to UNICEF. It is a health threat that can result in the appearance of various diseases and affect the health of the population. In the capital, Kigali, as well as in the surrounding region, it is undeniable that drinking water remains a serious problem. The water that the inhabitants draw from the rivers is indeed not always clean.
The river is the cause of the death of many people who come to collect this dirty water. This water also causes us many health problems. If we had cleaner water, we wouldn't come here.
Yvette Ishimwe, 25, is the founder of Iriba Water Group, a startup that provides clean water to rural and urban communities. She has installed water kiosks and sells filters to address the shortage of drinking water.
Clean water is a serious issue in Rwanda and also in the region. For example, I'll give you simple numbers. Like in sub-Saharan Africa alone, 319 million people are without affordable access to clean water. So, you know, you can see yourself. If we still have up to 319 million people without clean water access, then that's a serious issue.
Created in 2018, Iriba Water Group has 3 components, including Iriba Tap and Drink for low-income communities. This company installs water dispensers and eco-kiosks in urban communities, especially in high-traffic areas such as markets, public parking lots, and others. Several kiosks have been set up across Kigali, like this one in Chisozi.
I work hard, and a small jerry can of water that I consume every day costs cheaper compared to mineral water. And then we find that our health has improved a lot since we started drinking this water. We therefore thank the owner of this business for allowing us to safely quench our thirst.
Dehydration and difficulties in finding drinking water in several